So apparently God Eater is only going to have 9 episodes. Next week is the finale, and those extra episodes counted as official full episodes that were coming out weekly. So, I think it's very apparent that Ufotable had a lot of issues with God Eater since it began because of delays and extra episodes. There's something really going on at Ufotable Studios, but to see how a studio has to just come out and say, like, we can't continue after 9 episodes, it has me worried. Because this just goes to show you how busy Ufotable is, and this might have everlasting effects for a very long time for their studio, because it costs a lot of money to make anime, and to delay anime constantly and then having to kind of just cut off your anime before it's even done, that's kind of bad. Now, I don't say this is probably the end of God Eater, so to say, because, I mean, even if next week is the finale, which it pretty much is, because it's been confirmed on all channels and stuff that it's not going to be airing, its time slot is being taken, so there's not going to be any more episodes, I still don't believe that this is the final time we will see of God Eater. I think maybe Ufotable is going to probably just, wrap it up right here for, episode 9 when it comes out next week, and probably give it about a year, probably for them to work on the remainder of the series where they don't have to worry about this production issues with constant delays. I feel like that's something Ufotable would do, because if you know them by now, usually when they're making a long series, let's say like Fate Stay Night, they'll make like 12 to 13 episodes, make it an hour long or so, and then they will kind of cut in half, and then they'll wait about 2 seasons later just to make the second half of the series, because, how much quality they put into their series. And since God Eater's had so many issues to where they had to rush and get a bunch of studios and helpers and animators just to help on the first episode, along with, constant delays, I feel like they might just be saying, okay, enough is enough, I'm done with these delays. Like, no, that's probably what they're saying, like, we're done with these delays, let's just put it to the side for now, let's wait till we're a little bit free, and then let's finish the rest up when we have the time. I feel like that's what Ufotable is doing, but one of the main things that really concerns me about this is, will this cause it to where Ufotable doesn't want to take risk in the future? For instance, take risks to make other series are not just, like, Fate-orientated, or something that is, related to game openings. I hope this doesn't really make it to where Ufotable doesn't want to experiment and make other anime outside of their comfort zone, because this is like one of their first series they've really done that. Like a big series like this, and to see how it kind of was a little bit of a failure in a way, I'm worried about that, because it might make it to where Ufotable as a studio just doesn't want to take a risk like this if they never make a possibility of a second half of God Eater. So yeah, this can have everlasting effects, depending on how Ufotable tackles new anime they make in the future. But for now, though, the episode or the series is ending next week, so there's not going to be any more, and most likely we're not going to get any conclusion. I highly doubt we're going to get any conclusion next week. It's probably just going to end on a cliffhanger, and we're going to be like, what the fuck, and then that's it. And so, we'll see when the episode comes out next week, but I'm willing to bet it's going to end on a colossal cliffhanger, because with all the setup, with this episode, the previous episodes, with all these questions popping up constantly, and nothing being answered, there's no way in hell that the last episode can conclude all these different plot threads in just one episode. It's not possible. It really is, unless you really just fucking rush. But I don't think Ufotable will do something like that. So, in terms of probably concluding next week, I don't see it happening, especially with what was set up. I mean, there's just so much. I mean, you have it with the stuff going on with Lindo, to what's going on with Linka, with him about to die, to the planet having spikes going all through it, and then the origami at the end, and then, also seeing different things going on with, Linka being like a commander. I mean, there was just a lot of shit going on with, like, Elisa as well, trying to overcome her madness. And, as I said, I don't think this can all be concluded next week. And it's kind of sad how it's being forced down to 9 episodes, but that happens with production issues. Shit happens, you can't do nothing about that. So, focusing on the episode, God Eater Episode 8. Episode, to be honest, was kick-ass. Pretty kick-ass, actually. I like seeing Linka taking the role as a commander. Like, him standing up, thinking about the battle plans and what he should do for, the people around him, pretty kick-ass. Like, I mean, looking at Linka as a character at first, when the series first began, he was a guy that went in, he didn't think too much, he fought a little bit, but he rushed in and kind of got people in danger, and he got hurt a lot because of his actions. And now, seeing him in these past 2 episodes, him using his brain, like, when we saw him in combat last week, and he was fighting and stuff, it looked really cool, and he was doing a good job. But then, with this episode, you're like, oh my god, this is so good, because he's actually able to command, like, an army, a small little mini squad, and do a good job at it. So Linka is definitely moving up in my rankings as a better character, just seeing his actions with this episode, and last episode we had. So good job, Linka, for actually doing a really good, I guess, job as a commander. Like, him to not really have any prior experience of stuff like that, but being able to do that, he's actually better at being a commander than fighting on the battlefield is fucking hilarious. Like, think about this, okay? Him being a commander and leading his group and stuff, he's a lot better at it. He is. Like, he's a lot better than going out there and fighting. But it's kind of sad, though, because his life is ticking away. We found out he has a timer and he's about to die soon in maybe a couple of years because his compatibility rate is so high that it's killing him. And I'm questioning right now, like, what type of symptoms is he gonna have in the future? Like, I'm curious about some of the negative symptoms, because we've seen certain instances where he uses his God Arc to fight, and, like, you see these weird veins pop up all on him. And then I wonder, in a way, if he could kind of mutate slightly into origami. I wonder if Linka could do that, because I just feel like there's something different. For him to be very compatible with the cells, the origami and stuff, I feel like there's something else different with him that is just bizarre. Like, very bizarre. Like, something that doesn't normally happen. His compatibility rate's the highest they've ever seen, but for him to be that high, he probably is not exactly entirely human. I don't think he is. At least, the beginning part, oh my, the fan service, like, damn. Avotable's definitely cashing in on that fan service, like, the side boobs, to the under boobs, to the freaking, like, armpit side boob, and then you getting to see just the naked Elisa in her bed at the beginning of the episode. Like, damn, they're really going all for that fan service for Elisa, because, I know a lot of people like Elisa's character. I've seen a lot of talk about that in the comments from you Chibits, and then online, different things like that. So, seeing something like that, it seems like Avotable's like, hey, you guys want fan service? Here you go. Like, here you go. We might not be able to conclude the entire series in, 12 episodes, only just 9 episodes, but we'll give you some fan service. We'll just slip in some side boob for you. There you go. So, shits and giggles aside, episode was pretty damn good. I like the direction it's going, especially with the new plan, like the meteorite plan, to kind of lure origami into certain sections like species and take them down one by one. It's a smart plan, and yeah, I like where that is going as well, and I wonder if that's going to get concluded in episode 9. And then Lindo, he's in a situation where alarm goes off and you don't really know where the fuck he is, but it's probably a very bad situation. He might... Nah, he's too good of a character. I don't think so. It seemed like he got a death flag in this episode, actually. It really felt like he got a death flag with the way he was being talked about, with how Linko is, like, similar to Lindo. I was like, that sounds like a death flag, but... So tell me your thoughts. How do you all feel about this week's episode of God Eater? How do you feel about the series coming to an end on episode 9? Let me know your thoughts. Please be safe. Chibi out.